It's Melody from the Seed of Life Collective, and I thought I would give you a little spot about what we're talking about in Ayurveda 101, the mind. So one of the biggest points in Ayurveda versus modern psychology, because psychology is a pretty new field in the whole scheme of things, where Ayurveda has really been working with psychology more through the chakra aspect. So when we look at allopathy or modern day psychology, we're really looking at it from a problem is identified, usually an imbalance. So there's something that keeps occurring that someone can't control mentally, whether that be anger, anxiety, depression, even to the aspects of maybe schizophrenia or even suicidal thoughts, right? So once it gets to that point, allopathy steps in with a treatment protocol. Once the treatment is effective, so that might look like addictions, you might go to classes to help you get out of that addiction, then allopathy turns to a rejuvenation process. So once the treatment has taken hold, then there's a process of reorienting you with better habits and better behaviors to separate you from that behavior. Notice how it doesn't really get to a source. And then, of course, it moves to prevention. How can we then prevent this process from reoccurring? Where in the Ayurvedic standpoint, because it's looking deeper, because, for instance, today we cover the 6 stages of imbalance, where you'll see that this hits about stage 4 when it hits modern psychology. Ayurveda starts at step 1, which is a very subtle imbalance. And when you can see it in things like the chakras, or it shows up in certain behaviors, or even certain parts of the body, it's starting to manifest. These mental imbalances, when you see this, that is the first step to prevention. Because once you see an imbalance, you can prevent more imbalance. So Ayurveda's standpoint is identifying what those 6 stages are, how severe is this in those stages, and then how much effort you need to put in for prevention so that you can backstep those stages. Then, of course, it also moves into rejuvenation. So it's now preventing any more imbalance, but it's rejuvenating the process so that anything that has gotten damaged or is out of balance can actually start a healing process. And then it goes into treatment. So the treatment might look like a behavioral treatment. It might look like a self-care treatment. It may look like more education to buffer that rejuvenation. So this process is flipped only because allopathy in modern psychology is catching a problem once it's already a problem. Ayurveda is catching the problem as it's in its baby form, and then really taking hold and rebalancing so that it doesn't cause any more damage. So, this is the difference between Ayurveda versus modern psychology, and this is something we'll be going over today in our class.